and welcome to the quarterfinal of the MSL here, live to you from Lakeland Senior High School in Perth, Australia. We've got the 2024-25 summer edition of the Futsal Supa-Liga WA, featuring all of Western Australia's finer clubs, and none other make that feat more true than the Cockburn Wolves and the South Perth Alliance in a very fitting 4th v 5th semi-final. Finishing off the normal season in 4th are the hosts, South Perth Alliance. They were first for the majority of the season but slipped off in the last few games, and it's the recently high-flying Cockburn Wolves who were at 10th at the midpoint in the season, just snuck into that top 7 and did really well in the top half split to find themselves in 5th position at the season's conclusion. And just going through the starting lineups for the Cockburn Wolves, it's Theo Leeming, Ollie Leeming, Jack Birdle and Stefan Savanovic, with Michael Dudek in goal. For South Perth Alliance, it's Nantawat Rangsawang in net, Benji Mikhail, Luca Bergamy, Philip Ronitsa, and I believe it is Justin Pearce on the far side. Substitutes for SVA Ketchi Kato, Bo Haynes, James Toth, Takahiro Inai, Kenneth Anderson, Dara Dabiri and Charlie Milham. So a full complement of substitutes for those in blue. For the Cockburn Wolves, well, they're running a little light with just the 3 on the bench in Jack Birdle, Lucas Schutz, Lucas Schutz, Ben Thorpe and Luke Christie, as South Perth Alliance get proceedings underway. It's Mikhail across to Pearce. Now Roynitsa, high press coming in from SVA. Bergamy just let the ball roll under his foot, and possession will change hands for the first time in the affair. Savanovic looked for Birdle but was immediately dispossessed by Pearce. Mikhail to Pearce. Now in the centre, looking for the pivot in Bergamy. Leeming's hit the deck early. It looks to be a head injury for the young man, Ollie Leeming. The ECU, or Perth Red Star player in the outdoor game, has gone down early in this one. He seems to be clutching his ankle. So for Cockburn Wolves' sake, with an already relatively light squad, they will need their young talisman to carry on in the contest. And he's got to his feet rather gingerly, but he looks okay to continue, and play will be restarted with a drop ball. Savanovic, Birdle, little dink forward. Leeming tries to win the strength battle against Roynitsa. Pearce not taking any risk there, just clearing that one away. Leeming, ball in the centre. And back upfield, Savanovic. A little dink through, just hits the court divider. So possession back with SVA. It's been cagey in this opening minute. Neither side have managed to keep fluent possession. There's been a lot of stoppages, as you'd expect in a game of this nature. Savanovic trying to find a way through. And a side ball this time for those in white. Dudek comes off his line. Here's within range. And that wasn't far away. Rangsawang short to the feet of Mikhail. He just walks it forward. Cockburn happy to defend at half court. Bergamy. The ball down the line is well read by Theo Leeming. And Wolves get the decision in their favour. Ollie Leeming. Little dink towards Savanovic. Bergamy wrestling for it. It's an onslaught of South Perth Alliance pressure. But now here come Cockburn on the break. Leeming, couple of step overs, cuts it on the right and drives one on Rangsawang's goal. But it's a good save. First real chance of the game comes in for the Wolves. And now at the other end, here's South Perth go. It's Pierce who is offline with his pass. Leeming in the centre. And now the back row unleashes Stefanovic for the opener. It's well defended by Mikhail. Cockburn want to take the corner quickly. South Perth Alliance get back in numbers well. It comes out to Leeming. Now Theo Leeming on the ball. Looks for the Jenkins side to Stefanovic. Only as far as Mikhail. He'll look forward quickly for Bergamy. Stefanovic. Right to find it through to Bertel. Bergamy unleashed an effort from range, but couldn't test Michael Dudek. Ketchy Kato is the first substitution of the game. He gets a touch on it immediately. Roynitzer. Kato looks across back for Roynitzer. Now a 3-on-1 up the other end. Jack Bertel looked across for Theo Leeming, but Rungswang saved it between his legs. He's showing his quality early. The Nationals goalkeeper this year for Western Australia. Inside to Leeming. Bertel. Ollie Leeming has a drive, but it's blocked well. South Perth Alliance break away with it. Cato's shot on Dudek is comfortable for the veteran goalkeeper. And a side ball for Cockburn Wolves now. What a tempo this game is being played at. You can see how much both of these sides want to win, and that's a high press from SBA. Roynitzer, Bertel with a good recovery challenge though. Another counter attack. Leeming looked across for his brother Ollie, but Rungsawang with an excellent diving save to parry it away. But here's collided with it looks to be Benji Mikhail in the process, but both players to their feet. Rungsawang will continue. Mikhail, he'll take his substitute. Toth comes on with Haynes and Anderson. So full 4 on, 4 off already for those in blue. Wolves are yet to rotate the bench. Bertel look for the reverse ball to Stefanovic. Dudek. Now Ollie Leeming. For Bertel. Back to Ollie Leeming. That's a nice move. But couldn't fool Haynes, who was alert to the danger. And second defended well. Bertel. Stefanovic. That's a lovely ball across for Leeming, who acknowledges the excellent pass from the fixo, but just couldn't put it in the back of the net this time around, Ollie Leeming. And Ollie and Theo Leeming will be thankful that they played their fixture in the outdoor game last night, or else there would be a lot of sore legs after the game tonight, as we know they're going to be relied on to play heavy minutes. At least they're doing so fresh. Theo Leeming. Stefanovic looked to chip it through to Leeming. Rungsawang with James Toth. Toth tried to find Anderson in the centre. Long throw looking for Leeming. Toth tries to drive forward. Back to Stefanovic. Under pressure by Toth, but evades the challenge well. Still going Stefanovic. Knocks it back to Leeming. Forward to Schutz, who's had an excellent season, Lucas Schutz. Top scorer for the Wolves, but now they're going to have to deal with a counter attack. And the strike from Toth is blocked away by the men in white, who defend resolutely. Toth with another drive. And another side ball to come for those in blue. Kato's got a decent strike on him. Anderson look for the ball across. Quick release by Dudek for Leeming. That's another brilliant chance coming in for Cockburn. Rungsawang couldn't be fooled. And the ball across from Stefanovic this time. Theo Leeming almost making an error. Dudek off his line to sweep. Ollie Leeming to Theo Leeming. Waiting for support and finds it in Savanovic. Ollie Leeming. Ball out wide to Schutz. Little bit of interplay in the centre. Looking for the return ball with Leeming, but didn't come off on that occasion. Haynes back to Toth. Haynes once more. Anderson. Haynes for Milham. Turns it in the centre back to Haynes. Theo Leeming shoots. Back to Leeming. Under press is the number 15. Savanovic. Trevella ball around the corner. Toth is on the break. Good block, Ollie Leeming. Now it falls for Haynes. Toth again! Bit just over the bar this time. And it goes the way of the Wolves. Ben Thorpe on now for Cockburn. Ollie Leeming. Savanovic. Looking forward, looking for Thorpe. Rungsawang there to rescue. Rungsawang short to the feet of Haynes. Toth. Finding the pivot in Milham well. Lovely back roll, looking for Haynes' run. But now Cockburn can counter, and it's what they do well. Big tackle by Leeming. Savanovic back to Leeming. Anderson getting stuck in himself. Thorpe. Savanovic. Leeming has a strike and forces a big save out of Rungsawang. And a corner to come for Cockburn. Leeming again. Just going past the back post this time around. And subs rolling back on for SPA. Mikhail returning with Pearce also. Long ball forward to Milham. Pearce gets their first chance for Milham, who finds the bottom corner. And Ollie Milham, with his first goal in South Perth Alliance colours, has saved it for the big occasion. He puts them in the lead in front of a home crowd, and that's not much Cockburn have done wrong. They probably had the better of the chances, but with South Perth Alliance best chance of the game, they've found a way to capitalise, and the timeout card goes in early from the Wolves. So we'll be back with you shortly after a quick interval. And we're back after the timeout break. Cockburn Wolves with some work to do. South Perth Alliance will be happy with the fact that they withstood the early Cockburn pressure and have put themselves up on the scoreboard. And it's Savanovic who couldn't do much under a high press there. The side ball will come to South Perth. Bergamy has a drive. But off the back of Ben Thorpe. South Perth will have a go at it again. Mikhail this time. In at the near side, and Cockburn with an opportunity to have some possession of their own, but it does look like SPA wants a high press. They're really going for it. And that's a good interception by Bergamy, who looked to play it across. Appeals for a handball, goal unanswered. Cockburn break away, and it's a big tackle, Bergamy. And a foul going against those in blue. It did look slightly rash from Bergamy, but it's hard to tell from where I'm sitting as to whether he got enough off the ball or not. Nevertheless, free kick for Cockburn. And a chance to work something on Rang Swang's goal once again. Savanovic to line this one up. Savanovic has a drive, blocked by Bergamy. Dudek. Awkward touch and it rolls out of play, couldn't connect with Thorpe. Milham. Bergamy to Pearce. Mikhail across. Bergamy look to play it through for Pearce. Dudek for Berdu. That's his pass to the pivot, smothered by Pearce once again. Cockburn are succumbing to this South Perth Alliance high press. They've got to find a way out. They've struggled since the Lemming brothers have made way to the bench. They've been their creative outlet all season with Christie, who's also not here today. Mikhail has a drive, but it just goes past the post. Roynitsa back on for Bergamy. Dudek long looking for Thorpe. Lucas shoots. Couldn't skip beyond Mikhail, just runs it out into touch. Mikhail, Pearce, little deep toward Milham, who holds up well and is waiting for runners. Milham trying to work the dazzling footwork, but gets double teamed. Shoots with a clean tackle. Looked inside for Thorpe, who couldn't get a hold of it. Pearce losing out on the challenge to Thorpe. Mikhail, Milham. And Thorpe clears away, but only as far as Dudek. Savanovic, reverse pass finds, shoots well, looks to return it to Savanovic. Was he taken down? Referee says so. No complaints from the South Perth Alliance bench this time. Savanovic over the set play. They've got both Lemming brothers back on. So now is their time to strike. And could it be immediately through Ollie Lemming? Up the line to Theo. Still going Theo Lemming. Bearing down on a goal. But Rang Sawang comes out to claim bravely. And the throw looking for Inai. Lemming tries to thread it through. Inai wrestling for it. Roynitsa will say, has it wrestled off of him by Bertel. Inai does well to win it back though. Plays it into the centre. Pearce. Mikhail. Trying to beat Bertel down the line. Stops and starts and resets with Pearce. Mikhail and I look for the ball down the line and won it back though. It almost fell to Mikhail, who was unmarked in the D. But just couldn't get it under control. Not the best of passes from Savanovic, but Pearce could only head as far as Dudek. And Nye into the roof. It will be a side ball for those in white. Dudek coming up for the set piece. Has it go? It goes over the top on this occasion. But that's the threat that Dudek brings. He can score from the halfway line, especially on this Lakelands court, which is a little bit smaller than the Perth Modern one. Haynes. Pearce. And nice flick down the line. Theo Lemming wrestles for it well and wins it back. Ollie Lemming looked down the line for Theo. And the Wolves tried to salvage a corner, but the decision going against him. Rang Sawang. Short for Bo Haynes. And now it's Pearce. Roynitsa was eased out of it. Ball back to the Wolves, and South Perth Alliance dropping off their press a little bit perhaps. Now they look to step it up, but Wolves get the ball through. Theo Leeming with a touch of individual brilliance. He chipped it over Rungsawang. He had all the composure he needed for the equaliser. And that's why he plays MPL football and others don't. Theo Leeming with one of the best goals you'll see in a final. Has wrestled Cockburn back in the contest, and likewise to what we saw when the first goal went in, Umberto Di Tilio put his timeout card in. Roberto Boy has done the same. And that's the way to swing momentum and to inspire your side.
And the goals fouls are 2-0 Perth.
A touch of class from Theo Leeming. It was a decent ball from Savanovic, but there was a lot of work for Leeming to do. Beat the first defender, sat the second one down, and just had the composure to not go for power beyond Rungsawang, but to just lift it over the top of him. And it just floated into the back of the net like it was a cloud on a rainy day. And Will Cockburn, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for them. They lost a bit of the momentum when the subs started rolling, but now that they've got the starting four back on the court, they look good value. It's just going to be a matter of time to see whether these legs get tired toward the end of the contest. South Perth Alliance have the much bigger bench, obviously, and we'll see how they respond. Mikhail to Haynes, and now Anderson. Forward through for Haynes, trying to find a way through a couple. And it has been deemed a free kick. So we'll see what South Perth Alliance have orchestrated from the training ground. You can see this one coming across to Anderson on the far side for a shot. In fact, Haynes goes direct. And there's one South Perth corner. Mikhail has a drive, only as far as Ollie Leeming, who gets stuck in again. It is eased out of the contest. Roynitzer could only find the side netting. Long ball for Theo Leeming. Ollie Leeming miscontrols. Roynitzer. Ollie Leeming wins it back. It's good defending. Gets it out to Bertel. Theo Leeming. Ollie Leeming on the break. Touch was too heavy, but they're appealing for a side ball. However, it won't be awarded. Berkamy back on for those in blue will look to hold the ball up for them. It comes to Berkamy, who look to flick it on. And he's earned South Perth the corner. Comes out to Haynes, who has a go. I think it hit the outside off the woodwork. Dudek claims he didn't get a touch, and the referee agreeing. Long throw Dudek to Leeming. Good first touch. Now Ollie Leeming has it. Bertel. Savanovic. Little dink down the line. Looking for Theo Leeming. I've just seen on the live stream, apparently we missed Theo Leeming's goal. I'm not sure what happened, but the instant replay isn't working, so we can't replay it, but that is an awful shame because it was an absolute delight to catch in person as Haynes cuts inside and causes problems for Dudek. It hit the top of the bar. Dudek scrabbling back to his goal line for a moment. And another corner for South Perth. Can Haynes work the left? He goes back down the line, gives it away on the counter. Theo Leeming, Ollie Leeming, and now across to Savanovic, cuts it back, looking for Ollie Leeming. But couldn't find him in the end. Berkamy finds the overlapping runner Haynes, who drives down the line and has a go. Rolling foul going the way of the Cockburn Wolves, I think. It's Ollie Leeming to Bertel, Savanovic. They've all played a lot of this first half, and that's classy from Theo Leeming. Looks for the drive through, but cut out by Berkamy. Now Mikhail looking to break away. Tried to find Bo Haynes, who never gave up on it. Dudek can spot the counter quickly. Theo Leeming, could it be again? Cleared into the roof by Berkamy, not taking any risk There is Ali Millem coming back on. Ball in the centre. Theo Leeming, look for the elastico. And Savanovic had a drive, but hit the outside of the post. Bergamy to Bo Haynes, back to Bergamy. Haynes, South Perth just working the ball nicely, trying to break down the Wolves' defence. And they look to connect with the pivot. But Theo Leeming was in the way of the pass. Bergamy scooped ball forward and appeals for a corner, go unanswered. Lucas shoots back on for those in white. It's Savanovic who made way to the bench. Counter-attack comes in for South Perth. Haynes has a go at it on the right. Anderson looked for the switch of play but didn't come off. It's James Toth on for those in blue. Ollie Leeming has space to drive. Inside to Theo Leeming, quick footwork. Ollie Leeming tries to go alone. Theo Leeming couldn't get the touch right on that occasion, just let it run. Runs the one to Toth. Toth trying to drive through. He's lost out. Theo Leeming has a spare man and shoots. And forces a good save out of Rungsawang. Theo Leeming has been so good tonight in particular. Every time he gets the ball, you can just smell a goal coming. Ollie Leeming so too. That wasn't far away from the bottom right corner with 3 to go in the first half either. Rungsawang trips it at the feet of Pearce. Toth. South Perth Alliance need to try and find the patch of momentum that they had at the midpoint of the half. Cockburn have done very well since subbing the brothers back on. But how long can their legs last? That's going to be the question. Great tackle. Ollie Leeming breaking to Theo Leeming. Cuts it back for shoots. South Perth Alliance survive another scare. Pearce. Bergamy. Little jink in for Milham. He tries to hold up well, but doesn't get the benefit of the decision. It will go back the Wolves' way. Jink forward into Ollie Leeming. Can he finish on the follow-up? Rungsawang gathers. Toth to Bergamy. Back to James Toth. Down the line to Milham. And it does go out of play. 2 minutes to go before half-time. Ollie Leeming didn't forward into no one in particular. Ali Milham has it to Bergamy. Bergamy chip forward looking for Milham. Theo Leeming breaking away again, has a drive. And palmed off the chest of Rungsawang. It's another corner for the Wolves. Leeming again with another strike. But this time it's blocked by the South Perth Alliance defence. Leeming cuts in on the left, then back onto the right. Back rolls it to Ollie Leeming. He shoots on his left boot. And another corner for South Perth to deal with. Theo Leeming scoots it back for Berdu. Inside, nice back roll Leeming. South Perth win it back though. Pearce can settle, plays it across to Bergamy. Milham. Pearce. Milham. Toth just let it roll underfoot. Won't want to watch that one back. Leeming coming off to the bench for a well-earned rest. Ollie Leeming still staying on though. Savanovic, good ball down the line, just shoots. Cuts inside, then looks for the back roll and across. Shoots, couldn't apply the finishing touch, but it was a promising attack by those in white. Toth. Roynitsa. In the centre it goes to Milham, who can't hold it up. Savanovic driving through. Plays it out wide to Shoots. Beru. Savanovic. Back rolls it to Beru. Little dink over the top for Savanovic, who cut it back across the face of goal. 42 seconds left in the half. And the lights have just cut out. Good that it was in a break of play. It's happened before. It happened when Cobras faced South Perth Alliance here a few weeks ago, and it's happened again. But luckily, they're back on. Would have been momentarily jarring for the players, wondering what the hell happened. But nevertheless, it's a side ball on the far end of the pitch for South Perth Alliance and for Philip Roynitsa to bring in play. Pierce back to Roynitsa. Pierce once more. Roynitsa down the line to Milham, who looked to play it into the centre. They're struggling to break down this this Cockburn Wolves low block. They'll have another corner. In fact, it's a deep side ball. Shoots to Beru. Savanovic. Looks for the little clip down the line. Savanovic. Beru. Inside to Leeming, who couldn't hold off James Toth. He's breaking away, has a drive. Leeming ricochets back out to Duda. Savanovic shoots from the wide position. That wasn't far off the far post. And with 3 seconds left, Rungsawang can just dart this one long. On the volley, Roynitsa had a hit. 0.6 of a second left to go. Not enough time to do much. Comes out to Milham. I don't know if it would have counted, but Duda made the save just to make sure. It's half time. The early goal from Ali Milham was cancelled out by a wonder touch from youngster Theo Leeming, which sees us level at the midpoint in the quarter-final. What an exciting affair it's heading up to be. We'll be back with you shortly in the second half.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
Well, what a contest it's been. 1-1, the half-time score. Two of the finest sides in Western Australia facing off for just one semi-final position against Cambio Cumbre next week. And it's the Wolves that ended the half, the better of the two, and particularly because of this man on the ball, Theo Leeming. He wrestled them back into the contest single-handedly. It's been causing the men in blue trouble all evening. I'm really interested to see what his game will bring in this second period. But it's living up to the affair it was dubbed to be. A really close contest, just like the last two quarters were. It would be headed for extra time again. Early chance for South Perth, well snuffed out by Birdu. Leeming over the top to Theo. Theo Leeming driving forward. And struck at it on the left boot, but it was well defended by the men in blue. Comes out to Birdu, who has a shot from distance, palmed away by Rung Sawang, and Ronitsa just sends it into the abyss. Savanovic. Believing back to Savanovic. Look for the ball across. Anderson just couldn't grab a hold of that one. Dudek for Birdu, who looks long for Theo Leeming. Couldn't quite get his first touch right. Comfortable for Nantuat Rung Sawang. Pierce to Mikhail. Anderson. Roynitsa. Mikhail. Anderson, missed touches. Theo Leeming back to Ollie. Theo once more. Ollie Leeming, little dink over the top. But Rung Sawang gets there before Theo Leeming can. Mikhail just slowing it down. Pierce out wide to Anderson. Now across to Ronitsa. The pass was hit at him with some force. Pierce. Mikhail looks to shuffle down the line beyond Birdu. Mikhail to Pierce. Ronitsa. Mikhail. Anderson across to Ronitsa. South Perth Alliance working the ball nicely. And Pierce looked for the back roll into the overlapping run of Philip Ronitsa. Sent over the line for a side ball by the Wolves. Upfield to Pierce, who has a drive on the left. The sting was taken off this shot by Leeming. Comfortable for Dudek. Savanovic. Cross-court ball. Theo Leeming was brought to ground. I think it was just outside the area. It's a yellow card for Ronitsa. Yeah, it's a free kick just outside the box, and maybe it was a necessary foul. They know how dangerous Leeming is once he gets in behind. But still, despite it not being a penalty, it's a very dangerous chance for Cockburn Wolves, and probably their best opportunity to take the lead. Savanovic, shot was blocked. On the follow-up, it comes out to Birdu. His shot was blocked. Desperate defending from South Perth, and up the other end they go! Anderson! I thought it was in for a moment. It just trickled past the post. But that was awfully close on the counter. Just after the Cockburn Wolves came so close moments earlier. Rung Sawang to Justin Pierce, and now it's Mikhail. Through for Ronitsa. Pierce. Millem. Reverse pass to Justin Pierce, who has space for a drive. But got his angles wrong. He had the power, not the accuracy. Theo Leeming losing out to Ronitsa. Mikhail bursting away. Great intervention, Birdu. Theo Leeming driving forward. Savanovic, Leeming just couldn't get his footing right. It was a golden opportunity for the Wolves, number 15. This game has really opened up. Chances either end in the opening 3 minutes of the second half. Mikhail lobbed the ball over the top by Pierce, didn't come off. Dudek. Short release to Stevanovic. Bertel, little dink around the corner. Leeming not going to bother chasing that one. As Shikato comes on with Bo Haynes for the men in blue. It's Millem who is adopting a position on the flank rather than the usual pivot position. Kato finds himself up there. Haynes looks for him. Millem, that's a nice ball for Haynes. But Dudek was brave and came out to collect. Quick release to Stevanovic. Back for Bertel. And now across to Ollie Leeming. Can go one-on-one with Haynes. Haynes marshalling him closely. Leeming looked for the drive across, but couldn't get beyond the frame of the SPA number 5. Leeming, ball in the centre. Theo Leeming couldn't help it on. It comes out to Stevanovic, who fires one on Rungsuang's goal, but the state team goalkeeper was alert to it. Theo Leeming, left foot drive comes in. It was Ollie Leeming rather. Just went past the woodwork. 12 minutes to go in the contest. If it stays like this, we'll be headed toward 5-minute periods of extra time. Millem, Bo Haynes, almost lost out to Leeming. Theo Leeming in behind. Great save, Rungsuang. Still alive on the follow-up for the Wolves. Pierce breaking away up the other end. Ball out wide to Kato. His shot goes over the crossbar. Long throw for Leeming. Good first touch. Was he brought to ground? Ref says no. Millem looking to break. He was held. Play still allowed to continue. And Kato couldn't divert it on goal. A rolling foul going against White. This game has heated up a notch. The intensity has risen as Dudek looks long for Leeming. Rungsuang happy to let it run. Rungsuang short for Pierce, and now Bo Haynes. Haynes out wide to Pierce, who cuts in on the right. Blazes his effort over the bar. The chant coming in from the Cockburn Wolves juniors. It's good to see. Ben Thorpe reintroduced, and he finds himself in behind. It was a golden opportunity, but a marvellous save from Nantuwa Rungsuang with a trailing leg. The Wolves split the South Perth defence wide open. Theo Leeming looked to have a go. He'll get another bite of the cherry. Side ball still for the Wolves. Shoots. Theo Leeming trying to make some space for an effort on goal. Shoots. Back to Theo Leeming. It's Stevanovic. Forward to Shoots, who gets it across to Leeming. Stevanovic. Now Lucas Shoots. It opens up for him. Look for the reverse pass down the line for Theo Leeming. Maybe would have been better off pulling the trigger himself. Rungsuang. Kato strong on the challenge with Shoots. Has to go back to Stevanovic. Shoots on the near side. Strong for options. Gets beyond Haynes well. Cuts inside. Thorpe on the right. Deflected awkwardly. Now South Perth Alliance looking to break. Millem tried to keep it in but couldn't. Stevanovic to Ben Thorpe. Jinked it into the centre. Kato. Pierce. Sorry, it's Bergamy. And Knight. Kato. Bergamy. Kato lost out, knocked it straight back to the Wolves. Good ball forward to Leeming. is trying to dance through. And Cato just sends it out of play. Side ball to come for those in white. It opens up for Shoots in the centre. Bergamy with a good block. Shoots wins it back up high. He goes to ground. Play allowed to continue. Millem, South Perth are on the breakthrough. Cato stalls it, and now the chance is gone. Another counter attack. Shoots. Ben Thorpe across to Savanovic. Good save, Thorpe on the follow-up. Couldn't manufacture a finish. This contest is being played at such a high intensity, so many counter-attacks. What a display of futsal it has been thus far. The question now remains as to who can break the second half deadlock. Knight doing well to win a foul, and South Perth Alliance call the timeout. They've withstood some good forward pressure from the Wolves, and will just want to settle things with a quick timeout interval. Umberto Di Tullio should be happy with the work rate of his side, especially considering they're playing without a couple of their key players, and with just 2 subs on the bench, they've really matched the intensity of SPA, and if not, they've been the ones driving the intensity up. A couple of really good chances falling for the likes of Theo Leeming, Savanovic, and even Ben Thorpe on a couple of occasions that couldn't be capitalised on. For South Perth, though, well, they had a really near miss through Anderson and also Cato. When it does break for them, they are always dangerous. It's just too close to call. It's been too close to call thus far. The next goal will be crucial, though, as goals in this contest are definitely at a premium. Both sides so good defensively and are always tracking back with such high intensity. Hence the 1 goal apiece each, despite the fact we're in the 23rd minute of the match. A free kick to come for South Perth Alliance. We'll see if they've got something worked. Mikhail going across to take it. And they're looking to utilise the block. Bergamy shows Mikhail just has a strike in the end. And it ricochets behind for a corner. Bergamy, the man to take it this time. Mikhail, ball down the line to Anai. It's a well orchestrated set play, but Anai just took a bit too long on the ball. Bergamy wrestling for it. Shoots and Bergamy both hit the deck. Nothing caught by the referees. Leeming. Back for Savanovic. And now Lucas Shoots has it on the near side. Savanovic. Look for the ball forward into Shoots. And he was held back. I think it will just be outside the box again. Nevertheless, a free kick in a very dangerous position once more for Cockburn. They had one in a similar position, but on the other side of the court a few minutes ago. It's well defended by SPA. We'll see what happens this time around, and if Cockburn Wolves can capitalise, or if SPA can see out another promising attack. If you look to Savanovic at the bottom of your screen, you can really see this one coming across to him. He's got a brilliant left boot. And the far side of the goal is open. If the strike is hit with enough conviction, Onswang probably won't have enough time to get across, but they're just going direct for goal. Don't think that was the right option given the contest, but with the form this man's been in, you can't really blame him for having the confidence to take on the strike. Everything has been touching his turn to gold this match. It might break for Anai, who has a drive. Savanovic first to respond. Lucas shoots. Look to reverse it back to Ollie Leeming, who I think got a little foot on it, or maybe it was Anai who had the last touch. Nevertheless, a corner to come for the Wolves. Shoots, plays it across to Savanovic. First time into the corner, and look to be returned. Ollie Leeming has a drive and finds the back of the net. Rung Sawong was unsighted.
27.
It was just above him, but it was hit with such conviction to the point where even a keeper of Nantawat Rung Sawong's quality couldn't react. And it's the Leeming brothers on show tonight. 1 goal each for them. They've scored all of Cockburn Wolves' goals, and the away side taking the lead for the first time in the match. SVA have it all to do with their season on the line. This is where they need to show character. Anai, Bergamy, back for Anai, who can't get beyond shoes. The chance coming in from the Wolves juniors now. They look spurred on the Cockburn Wolves side, but maybe a chance for Bergamy. Good save, Dudek. Dudek with another good save, gathers it on the second attempt. Leeming in behind again. It just hit the side netting this time around. They broke through so easily there, Cockburn. Mikhail. Will we see a fly keeper come out for those in blue? You say they need to if this deficit stands for a few minutes more. Haynes has a drive. Savanovic. Ball forward to Theo Leeming. He couldn't get his touch right on that occasion. Haynes. Mikhail. Haynes, sorry, it's Mikhail. Toth. Toth going for a run. Cycles back with Haynes. Bergamy across to Toth. Goes down the byline, Toth. He salvages a corner for his efforts. Coach on the South Perth bench urging SBA to take it quickly. Haynes a shot, couldn't find the target. Dudek over the top early. Haynes heads it clear, so a corner to come for Cockburn. Theo Leeming again with a venomous strike. It took a touch off blue and will be a corner on the other side. Leeming couldn't get the desired connection with a strike. Now James Toth to Luca Bergamy for Benji Mikhail. Back to Bergamy. Toth on the far side. Driving through the centre. Squeezes it out to Mikhail. Bo Haynes. Bergamy. Look for the ball through to Haynes. It's a good run, and Haynes acknowledging the pass with a thumbs up. Savanovic takes it across to the face of goal. What a ball that is to Ollie Leeming. Just tried to head it back to where Theo Leeming was, but couldn't do so. Bergamy, Mikhail, now Bo Haynes. Bergamy for James Toth. Goes for a drive down the wing and look to square it. But now Cockburn on the counter through Theo Leeming, who has a strike on goal. Good save on Sawong, who plays short to Mikhail. Haynes, Mikhail hits the deck. Nothing called by the ref. Toth shoots from distance and has won South Perth their corner. They've got to start making these set plays count as Lucas shoots, makes way to the bench for Jack Birdle.
3 for Wolves.
Bergamy has Haynes up the line. The return pass from Haynes was not one of his best. It just saw the chance fizzle out. Theo Leeming. Dinks it long, looking for Bergamy. Or looking for Bergamy rather, knocks it back to Haynes and gets on the end of it for a strike. Dudek. Short to Savanovic. And now Jack Birdle. Leeming. Birdle. Savanovic has his pass blocked by Mikhail. Ollie Leeming. Savanovic. Ball down the line looking for Birdle, who couldn't get around the outside of Bergamy. Bergamy. Mikhail. Back to Bergamy. And through trying to find Toth. Dudek. Looks long once again. Bergamy got there ahead of Leeming. Now the break's on for South Perth. Ball across looking for Haynes, who slides into the goalpost. Dudek releasing early. Couldn't find that of Stefan Savanovic. Pierce back on with Roynitzer. South Perth Alliance this season rests on the next 5 minutes. Can Cockburn Wolves give themselves a chance at a second consecutive grand final appearance with a win? Toth forward for Pierce, losing out to Birdle, who goes down the byline. Last touch there looked to be off Pierce. So it will be a corner for those in white and grey. Savanovic with the switch across to Leeming. Leeming looks for the 1-2 with Birdle. Leeming has a go. Didn't manage to test wrong song. It wasn't far away from that bottom corner though, and South Perth Alliance are really riding their luck. They're going to have to show some character and be efficient now. Still plenty of time to go, but they've got to stop conceding chances from the Cockburn Wolves and start creating more of their own. Toth trying to do that. He hits the deck, nothing called by the referees. Ollie Leeming, little dink around the corner only as far as Birdle, and it will be a South Perth Alliance ball. Pierce for Mikhail. Has a drive, but blocked by Birdle. Upfield to Roynitzer, who has his effort blocked once again. Cockburn Wolves are just defending so resolutely and know that they're on the cusp of victory and just need to see out the closing stages of the affair. Ball goes into the middle. It's a scramble. And Dudek releasing Savanovic quickly, who's in behind, brings it back. And just decides to reset play and keep possession. Birdle. Leeming, can he seal it? Ball through for once one. Justin Pierce shoots on the left boot. It wasn't a bad effort. Roynitzer on the follow-up. As he is heading his hands as to how he didn't hit the target there. That was a golden opportunity given away. Anderson trying to make magic. Can't get beyond Leeming though, wrestling for it. Maybe he does get beyond Leeming. Leeming with a good second defensive effort. Sees it go over the touchline for a side ball. Upfield to James Toth. He tried to cut beyond Theo Leeming. Leeming getting the better of Toth, who'll go into the referee's notebook for the foul. It's a professional foul. Nothing more than that. Toth is going to have to walk on eggshells for the rest of this contest. Birdle to Leeming. Leeming gives it away. Roynitzer, could this be the moment? Anderson halted in his tracks by Theo Leeming, who wins the ball back for Cockburn also. Leeming. Birdle had a Cockburn Wolves ball. Theo Leeming off the line to Ollie Leeming, who cut in and had a strike. It's rebounded out the other side. And the shot comes in again from Theo Leeming, but narrowly shaving the top of the bars. South of the lines, they've got no choice but to go fifth man. Bergamy will play the flight keeper in absence of the usual Milan Rosic. They've got to risk it all. 3 minutes to rescue their season. They only need a goal to force it into extra time. Well, they can really stretch the legs of this Cockburn side, who've really only played the game with a sub. Mikhail Haynes down the line, Roynitzer back upfield for Mikhail. Now across to Bergamy. Roynitzer, ball to the back post, almost turned in by Bertel. Dudek looking to find the empty net. Savanovic, ball forward to Leeming. The press call from the South by the Lions touchline. Ollie Leeming working in a phone box, and the ball goes back the way of South Perth. 2.5 minutes left to go. Time is running out. They've still got it though, but they've got to start being efficient and working Dudek more than they have been. The more this ball stays in play at the top end of the field, the better it's going to suit Cockburn. Bergamy, we saw a dramatic flight keeper in the last game when Cockburn took on Furia. Sorry, when the Cobras took on Furia, I should say. Bergamy, Millem, trapped in the corner, and the goal's open if Bertel can find it. Millem wrestling Bertel to the ground. Maybe lucky to escape a booking because he knew if Bertel won the 50-50, the goal was open. Had no choice but to foul. Bertel, just under 2 to go. Just setting it long, looking for Leeming. When it's to let it run for Rung Soo-wang, who will make the change. Mikhail Haynes. Mikhail, good ball through, and squares it for Millem! And it's a double for the star signing, who's earning his money tonight. And he might have just rescued South Perth Alliance's season with 1 minute and 45 left on the clock. And the timeout card is gone in by Cockburn, who look depleted. They've played so well for so long, but just couldn't see out the power play with the tired legs. And could that have swung momentum back in favour of those in blue? Umberto Di Tilio has got to rally his troops into putting on a big performance throughout the final 105 seconds of the game. Extra time will suit their opponents, so if they can somehow retake the lead once again, that will be good for them. The longer this game continues, the more tired they're going to get. South Perth Alliance can just constantly keep rolling the subs on the bench, and you have to say, you know, if this game does continue for another 10 minutes of stop clock, it's definitely going to favour Roberto Boy and his troops, purely just due to that fact. Referees signal for the teams to re-enter. The Wolves will take the court with Shoots, the two Leeming brothers, and Stefan Savanovic, giving Jack Bertel a break on the bench. For the men in blue, it's Pierce, Ali Millem, Bo Haynes, and Luca Bergamy. And is there time for late drama, or will we see extra time again? Shoots, look for the back heel, Rung Soo-wang, ball out wide, Pierce gets it across, and now a chance for Mikhail, who has Haynes teeing up at the back post. The ball just went behind on number 5's run, and the press call coming in from South Perth. Dudek has no choice but to go long. Theo Leeming's been making the most of the long throws, but couldn't do anything with it that time around, and South Perth are going to continue with the power play. What a ballsy way to go out I reckon we're going to see a winner in this one in regulation time. It's just a matter as to who it'll be, because if South Perth give the ball away, it's a perfect opportunity for Cockburn to finish. But can they work the overload efficiently? They did so to get the equaliser. Haynes has to be careful. Mikhail Bergamy, down the line it goes, and across! It's Philip Roynitzer, who may have well just won the game for South Perth. And Cockburn Wolves can't believe it. They might have to go fifth man off their own. We'll see what happens, but they don't have long to restore this. It's all gone sour inside the final 2 minutes for those in red and grey. And we said that them running out of legs might prove to be a factor toward the end of the game. And it very well could have been. They're leaving this to stand tall. Appeals for a foul, and they get the foul. And could this result in one last twist in the tail? It's 5 fouls for South Perth. The home fans aren't happy. Roberto Boy going absolutely ballistic on the bench. He's going to have to be careful. But it's just a pure passion and raw emotion coming out as he knows that this could be a turning point in the game. And look, with 50 seconds left to go, if this doesn't go in, then the best that they can do is get the likes of Shoots, Theo Leeming and Ollie Leeming driving at players one-on-one to try and win a 10-metre penalty. Savanovic, can the captain stand tall when his club needs him most? The Cockburn Wolves season could may well rest on this kick. Comes across to Leeming, who looked for his brother Ollie square, but didn't read the idea with the pass, and Rong Sawang just instructed to send it long into the corner. Roynitzer couldn't do much with that. The high press coming in by South Perth, and Roynitzer just doing his job very well. Dudek, ball out wide. Ollie Leeming, he's used to high pressure situations of this kind. So too is this man, Theo Leeming. Dudek up off his line. Shoots. Back to Dudek, who has a go, but it's off target. 20 seconds, or 27 seconds left. South Perth aren't in any rush. They're just happy to slow it down and set up their attack. Rung Sawang. Is that 4 seconds? Ball through to the runner in Haynes. Good read by Dudek. And it's a South Perth ball. Dudek's off his line. Mikhail, long throw or long kick only as far as Leeming. Ollie Leeming, ball forward, Savanovic, and across! And that was a chance for Theo Leeming. That was a chance. But he lifted his head up and leapt back. Couldn't keep his composure. And could that be that for Cockburn Wolves? Dudek never giving up. The clearance into the court dividing net. And I think that was the chance from Leeming. I think that's going to be the Cockburn Wolves season done there. South Perth Alliance, well, they'd have to make an absolute meal to lose it from here. It goes to Millam in the corner. He can just hold it up. And it goes the way of Cockburn. They've got to send everybody long. I'd be getting Dudek in the box if I were them. Savanovic, long ball forward. They need a flick on. Dudek, Millam, the time was up. It's not going to count. But it's a 3-2 victory for South Perth Alliance in front of a home crowd nonetheless. They had to do it the hard way. They had to come from behind. But it was a pure lack of legs for Cockburn, which I think cost him. And you know, I'm sure the players on the stream that couldn't make it today are watching, and well, that's what happens if you play so well throughout the whole season, but when it comes finals week, they're away with injury or holiday, and the likes of Leeming, Savanovic, Birdle and co will feel let down by their teammates because they worked so hard for so long tonight, but surviving 32 minutes of stop clock futsal with virtually one sub on the bench is borderline impossible. And it was the largest squatted South Perth Alliance who just outran them with the power play in the end. And they will face Cockburn in next week's semi-final in a repeat of last season for a spot on the grandest stage in futsal in Western Australia. Thank you for joining me throughout all the action tonight, and make sure if you're keen on some more futsal fix, you tune in on the next stream. It's just kicking off between the Northern Hawks and our Quam Eagles.